That's the way it always runs, though. You know, a little peanut butter, a little jelly. It's all good.
Yeah. You know, they lick you right off.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, August 20th, 2019. This is Indie Vote Live.
Check your calendars.
That's right. We are live. I am still tired. It was a very long weekend. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. I did a convention in my home state of Michigan, and I'm glad I didn't take out a loan. Because
you were thinking about taking out a loan just for this show?
Yeah, you know, I was gonna do it big, and boy, oh boy.
You would have done it big, all right.
Yeah. I mean, Val Kilmer was the guest of, like, the big guest. I mean, Val, it was Batman picture. It was awesome, but yeah. It was,
is he looking good? I heard he's getting back into shape because of the Top Gun reappearance.
He was looking a little rough around the edges. Still, he's rocking the scarf again too.
He's a little old, so
yeah.
He's not a spring chicken anymore.
Yeah,
but
none of them were really.
Yeah.
They announced they were going to do Top Gun remake. I'm like, or a sequel. I'm like, okay.
Tom looks the same.
Well,
not
yeah,
quite, but he's close.
All right, here we go.
You wonder how many virgins they've sacrificed to make him looking that young.
I was gonna reference Baby Blood, but that's a whole nother story.
That's what I mean by virgins too.
Yeah. Here we go for intro, guys.
Intro.
It is your host, founder of Indie Vote, Varian Grant. You know, I have been doing comics for so long, I forget how long I've been doing it. But I can tell you guys something, okay? There's a couple things, you know, what you have to realize when you get into this comic book game. I started with nothing, and I still have most of it. So, you know, I've also learned that red meat is not bad for you. Fuzzy green meat is bad for you. So that's a bit of effort.
You must have had one of those new Whoppers.
Yeah. No, you know, although KFC has, and Popeyes has a new chicken sandwich they released. They've been talking about today, and the Black News Network cannot get enough of it. I mean, I haven't seen one commercial, but I know everything about the sandwich because Black social media gets the word out about Popeyes chicken. No commercial needed. Whatsoever.
Yeah, so why are you advertising it here?
Yeah. I have Randy Zimmerman.
I'm just giving it to you today, aren't I?
Hey, everybody. I'm here. Yes. Randy Zimmerman, longtime independent publisher, alternative publisher, commercial artist, graphic artist. This is our low energy show, right?
Oh, yeah.
We can be low key since you're a little rundown today.
Oh, yeah. And I might lose power. Like I said, it was a bad show. DT is at the door. I'm just kidding. No, there's a lightning storm outside, and it's been, the power's been like going up and down. We'll see what happens.
Up here in Flint, that storm front was followed by a drop of about 10 degrees in temperature and humidity, so it's all good. We actually went out for a walk, which is why my nose is extra red. So.
We also have Lewis Bright Raven, the third wheel that keeps this. We're trike. We're
the third wheel on the tricycle.
Yeah. Third wheel on a tricycle. All right, go ahead, Lewis. Tell people exactly why you're an expert.
Well, 26-year veteran of the comics and RPG and fiction publishing industries, writer, artist, editor. I've worked with so many companies. Do we really need to talk about it this week? No.
we have zero energy, guys. Guys, do we need to go? Do we need to start cracking print? Because
Cracking print?
Yeah,
Could be.
we need some shoot something in your veins. Espresso.
Better?
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So yeah, let me start real quick by telling you guys about this week's convention. It was Michigan Comic-Con, held at Cobo Hall.
The glorious Cobo Hall,
Yeah.
downtown Detroit.
You're right.
Just mere blocks away from the giant fist.
Yeah, actually, and I'll post a picture to my personal social media. When we were leaving on, I believe it was Friday, a gentleman had climbed onto the fist and was protesting, and I'll post that to the Indie Volt Twitter as well as my personal Facebook after the show.
What was he protesting?
I have no idea. He was on top of the fist. He was surrounded by cops. The fire department showed up. It was quite the scene.
Well, you don't climb on the fist.
No, yeah. You can touch the fist. You know?
Can you?
Yeah, you can touch the fist. You can, but you can't.
You probably can't touch it for very long.
Yeah, well, there was a guy when we were leaving. He was under it, like he was holding it, like the Hulk.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
that
funny.
was fine. But you can't climb on top of it and with your, multicolored construction paper, yelling at passersby. You just can't do that.
No.
So yeah, that was
could have been protesting the Woodward Drive cruise, Dream Cruise.
He may have been. That would have been
Too many carbon using cars, huh?
Yeah, that could have been it.
Spewing into the atmosphere for no reason other than to drive up and down the street.
I was wishing that people would spew money into the atmosphere at the con. There was a drop of I guess I can only, if I have to speak about it in weather terms, it was a frigid front of no green activity. No one was buying shit.
Well, Dennis Barger said at least he didn't get rained on this time.
Yeah.
Well, he had to pull out the buckets last time.
Yeah.
Because it was raining on that day, and
the
Cobo has leaks. So
yeah. I mean,
but he said there will not be a third time. So not for him, at least.
Yeah, I don't know if the show's going to come back. Honestly,
he's done.
It was so thin. I went out in the
well, and again, that's like Fanfare 2 also. The second Fanfare had a decent attendance. It's just that when the halls are so spread out and those aisles are so wide, it doesn't look busy.
Right.
No matter how many people you have in there. And I'm sure that's part of the problem that they ended up running into. I don't know what their exact attendance was, but it's a miracle that they, after you get a small dip after your first one anyway. Was it set up like the first show?
Yeah, it was. Okay. It was a rough go in there. We're gonna jump into our questions here.
Rich Smits.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending in a question. Where exactly did the speculator market in comics come from? Second, is it something that is still around or primed for a comeback? Wow. Did it leave? I think that's the only thing kind of holding the retailers together.
Yeah.
Where exactly did it come from, or when?
Where exactly did the speculator market in comics come from?
I would assume it came from.
Can you see that on your screen, Lewis?
Yeah, I can see it. I'm trying to.
You were thinking. You're repeating it. I see.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking that,
if you're still thinking, I can give the answer.
Yeah, go ahead and give the answer if you think the answer is right. Because I'd say it was
exactly where did the speculator market in comics come from? This is another reason why you need to think of Stan Lee as a pedestal, up on a pedestal. He did Marvel Comics. He was out there like your carnival barker with the straw hat on and the cane going, gather around, kids. This is comics. This is awesome. We're pop art. This is all going on. And what happened with that, there was still a small group of loyal comic fans, always, since the 40s and the 50s, that grew up and went through. But Lee really started the fanatical edge of it, especially once some of these characters started picking up steam. Everybody started looking for back issues. DC had always been single issue stories at the time, and they kind of came along with it because it was comics. But if you go back and you look at why the direct market, well, one of the reasons why the direct market started, one of the reasons why the pop art and pop culture movement in art started, it was really because Stan Lee went around and did a whole college circuit for years, which is also a point of contention when it comes to his relationship with Ditko and Kirby, because Lee kind of went around and went, Marvel Comics, that's me. Marvel Comics is me. And really didn't take into account the guys that were really sweating behind their drawing boards, literally creating visually the majority of the stuff. So he set himself up as the main carnival barker. And, comics, especially the comic market, the speculator market, really wouldn't be the same if he hadn't done that. I mean, there would have always been a speculator market because there's always fans for certain comics that are out looking for stuff. But I don't think it would be nearly at the point that it is now if Lee hadn't done his Carnival Barker college tour back in the, I think it was
early 70s.
Early to mid 70s. Yeah.
Well, I guess
that also brought up the social relevance in the comics too, because he wanted to start hitting those college kids. So he started talking about the progressive political points.
Well, I guess I can ask you both this because I was but a wee babe when you guys
you probably weren't even born.
No. But the speculator market is, some people blame the speculator market for the comics crash of the 90s.
You got to remember there was a crash in the black and white market in the 80s. Before that, it's a cyclical thing.
Well, I think a lot of the 80s and 90s crashes were a little on the speculator market because they were watching some of these black and white books suddenly jump up because nobody was seeing them. Right. Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles first print, that kind of stuff. Cerebus was a part of that. But the bust was because there were too many greedy idiot printers out there that were publishing really substandard work. And I can rattle those companies off really quick, doing really bad, very substandard work, Generic Comic and Samurai Santa, and who knows what else come out there. And every lousy, really horribly strip reprint book that you can imagine come out through during that black and white bust. And a lot of people invested, a lot of retailers invested and lost a lot during that period. And they just shoveled that stuff, but you can't find it anymore. The majority of the stuff during the 80s black and white bust, they shoveled off and got rid of. On the other hand, in the 90s and 2000s, when Marvel and DC flooded the direct market with substandard stuff, that stuff still sticks around like a bad penny. That's what you're seeing in the dollar boxes and the 50-cent boxes and nowadays, because the earlier the 80s stuff, you hardly ever see a Troll Lords at a show anymore, or a Fish Police, or and especially some of the great oddball ones. If I ever see them in a dollar box, I snatch them because it's like, oh, here's something of quality. Here we go, and then I hand them out to people.
One thing I do have to mention, and I with the speculator market, is that I remember when my father and I would go to this comic store, and I don't know if I told the story before, but I could be in trouble, and I'm pretty sure you guys may have similar stories. I could be in trouble. I could be grounded, but if my dad was going to the comic book store, I would ask, "Hey, can I come with you?" And he liked going to two different stores. He liked going to, because he was collecting mainly sports cards and action figures. And he would go to Comic Archives, which is on Plymouth Road in Redford.
Yeah. Yep.
And he would go to a place called Mary 7 Coin and Hobby on Merriman Road and 7 Mile. And he would. About
what year was that, did you say?
Oh, this is 90 to 94.
Okay.
Around that point. And we would go in there. And I would go in Comic Archives, and I would be in trouble. Like, I could have done something horrible in school, but I would go in the store, and I would walk in, and I would, and we always done. I mean, ever since I was able to read, we would go to that comic store. But I would be able to get a comic book, and I always like, Dad, can I have this book? And go ahead and get it. And I'm grounded. He let me get a comic book. The big idiot. But now I'm older, and I'm realized, you know what? I was reading. Of course, he didn't mind. And it
He
was
thought maybe the books would be worth something someday. Pay for your college.
yeah. He could have thought that too. We would go to that store, and I remember I picked up a copy of The Killing Joke. One of the first trades ever. Oh, it wasn't a trade, but it was a fake book.
Well, that would be 88.
Yeah, that was an 88. Yeah, that was an 88 when I picked that up, and I was a kid.
The reason I know that is because it came out on my birthday in 88.
Did it?
Yeah.
I was it a gift? Yeah,
and the industry's been a mess ever since.
Yeah, that's it's all my fault. Yeah.
No, I wasn't blaming you.
We
all every good writer, every good artist, all have their off days, and Killing Joke, in my opinion, was definitely one of them.
You know what? It's funny. I read the book once a year, and like the first time I read it, I did not get it. The second time I read it, I'm like, as I got older, it started making a little bit more sense. And now I'm grown, and I'm like, okay. And the funny thing is, I hold it as a book that's like one of these legendary books. They did the animation.
Mm-hmm.
They did the animated movie, and I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what is this crap? And I remember a friend of mine telling me, says, dude, that's no different from the actual book. It's very close to the book. The book sucks. And I'm like, it doesn't. But I haven't read the book. It's sitting on my mantle. I won't read it. I want to keep. And what's the is that a Nickelback or is that a Creed song? Leave the Memories Alone. Rick, the Rick.
Don't ask me to remember bad lyrics from bad bands, buddy.
Well, I want to leave the memories alone. I don't want to see the way it is.
The movie is somewhat accurate. I mean,
leave the memories alone. I don't want to see the way it is. We have another question.
Probably Creed. Sounds like Creed, buddy.
Yeah.
What
are you saying, Lewis?
But why they needed to make the movie to begin with, I have no idea. I mean, haven't they made enough money off that damn book? I mean, how many? I think there's like 17 printings of that book at least. And if people are dumb enough to buy it, I guess. But I just, it's like I already got the story. Why do I need to have it in another format?
That's the story right there.
I went out and bought Hush. Well, I didn't buy it, but it was given to me as a gift, and it changes the plot. And then they put it on DC Universe, so I could have waited.
You can all wait. You can all wait for all that stuff to be up on DC Universe. They're desperate to get anybody to watch anything on that.
And someday when that goes away, they'll put it on regular TV.
All right, Randy, we got 2 more questions. You want the one that's aimed to you, or do you want the question about our talk on? We had a discussion we brought up on the Breakfast Club, the Breakfast Buzz last Thursday. So which one do you want?
Did we answer all of Mr. Smith's question?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the one aimed at me. I'm not afraid.
All right.
Go ahead.
Right. Here we go. All right. Oh, it's not really a bad question. It's not really bad.
Randy, I picked up Tales from the... Oh, my God. It is a bad question. Randy, I picked up Tales from the Aniverse 1 in very fine condition off Amazon. Is there a PO I can send my copy to get it signed? I'm Hawaii. You are Hawaii, KLW. Awesome. Thank you so much for sending and asking. I can give you a P.O. box very easily. Do you want me to type it into the chat so that you can run it across the bottom of the screen?
Sure.
I will do that. You can send it right to Flint Comics. My P.O. box for that is still very active.
And make sure you send it as a self-addressed, self-stamped envelope in there, too.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
And do try to send that secure as possible.
Yeah.
So that, we can, and I will get it back to you. I've got mailers here that I will get it back to you in a good shape.
Mm-hmm. Because that's pretty cool. Now, Randy, do you see a kickback from that at all?
Well, for what?
He bought off Amazon. Do you see a kickback from that at all?
No. But somebody else does. Somebody else will. So.
Yeah, I mean, not unless he has the one that's selling it, or he's doing it through his ZimGeek channel, in a way.
That's what I need to do.
Arrow Comics used to have a store where Scott Moore would fill up a lot of that stuff, but I haven't. I've been privy to that. I don't even think the store is open anymore over at arrowcomics.com.
No, it isn't.
I know we need to revamp that site and get it back up and running just for historical accuracy, because I did a whole series of history essays that I wish we're back up there.
Um,
There we go. Flint Comics, P.O. Box 7012, Flint, Michigan, 48507.
did you put it in the chat?
I did.
Yeah,
I
he
just-
put it in the chat and
I just-
YouTube page.
Stuck it in there.
Okay. All right, cool. And then I want to.
But yeah, Kale, you're more than happy to sign that for you.
that's
Might
awesome.
even, might even send you Massive Comics Tales from the Aniverse #1.
Should
Depending upon which, I don't know which Tales from the Aniverse one you had. I hope it's Arrow Comics. If it's the Arrow Comics one, that's awesome. If it's the Massive Comics, that's awesome too. I might send a couple more back your way. So
it's with having a PO box. Randy, did you get that a lot? Do you get people sending you your books that haven't signed or
no,
Okay.
not very often.
Okay. And Lewis, do you have a PO box?
No, not right now.
At one
I need
point,
to get one, but
at one point I had one and I let it lapse, but you know what I decided I'm going to do, and I think this is for anybody listening that's concerned about getting into indie comics. I am not degrading the post office here, but I used to work at the UPS store, and you know they give you a real address. You can get packages from any sender, any deliverer, like so. FedEx, UPS, obviously, USPS, DHL can be all be delivered there. You get an actual street address, and they hold your packages for you. Because I had a box there when I worked there, and I would get large packages, and they just put them behind the counter for me,
right.
and they would hold them. You can't get certain things, Cindy. Like you can't get. I had a list of things we could not ship, and people, believe it or not, I don't live in a really rural area. I wouldn't say. But people will try to ship bull semen, and apparently that's highly explosive.
Okay.
Yeah. Bull semen and cigarettes. You can't ship cigarettes. Some guy was getting a bunch of cigarettes from China shipped to him at the store, and one day he comes in and picks his packages up. And out of nowhere, cops come in the store, and I'm like, whoa! And my boss is telling, there he is, there's the guy. And that was interesting. Anyway, though,
that was for the cigarettes, not the bull semen.
No, that was the cigarettes. The bull semen. The guy handed me a container, and he's like, "What is? What are we shipping today, sir?" And he's like, "Oh, that's semen." And I'm like, "Bull semen?" And he's like, "Yeah, can't ship it." Oh, damn, man, who can ship this shit? I need someone to ship this. Like,
Son, that's what they call a road trip. Better get going. That's what they take the chances yourself. I saw a movie like that once.
Again, I want to read that for everyone.
He needs bandit delivery service.
Yeah, that does sound like a what's his name movie. Not I was going to say Josh Groban, but that's not the guy.
Burt Reynolds.
Galifianakis. That sounds like a Galifianakis movie in the making.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Special delivery. What are you carrying, bull semen? Holy crap! They all go running away.
I want to at the end of the movie, it's got to explode. Still got to blow up.
Yeah.
I want to read.
That's how the movie starts. Is everybody's in rubble.
Yeah.
When they don't know why. That damn bull semen. What?
I want to read that address to everybody who will be listening to this later on Indie Vote Radio. It's to reach Randy through his PO box. You're gonna want to send anything, not anything, but send that stuff to.
Make sure you send return postage. No bull semen though.
Yeah, no bull
Don't
semen.
do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Flint Comics PO Box 7012, Flint, Michigan 48507. Happy to do it. Send return postage. I might even send a little bit extra back your way. So a few extra comics because I got a basement full.
And Randy's still in the middle of his basement, the Great Basement Cleanse.
I just ground up 2007 and 2010 the last couple days, so it's all good. I cannot believe you guys would even entertain the idea of allowing some random cosplayer the opportunity to be drawn naked in your hotel room. Just asking for trouble, John M. As long as there's a group of people around, you just got to be careful about propriety. That's all. Most of these cosplayers, well, I'm not going to say most. That's not the right terminology. But there are some cosplayers out there that just want to be looked at.
Lewis, like, leave me out of this one.
And standing in the middle of a room with a group of 5 or 6 artists, not just guys,
Mhm.
artists, because anybody would be that of artistic talent or will would be welcome to sit there and draw that person from whatever angle. So
Uh,
that would be, some of us artist people would consider that to be a good time.
I asked my wife. She said no. I can't do it. I can't be there.
Oh, it'd have to be a group. Well, we're not talking naked.
Yeah.
That would get us in trouble. Then you'd have the police like you had at your UPS store
Yeah.
come in and we'd all going, well, what the.
I wonder, could we all be naked? Is that why we're doing this?
I don't think anybody wants that to happen. Not at this point, at least.
So
most of these artist guys, anyway, you don't want to see naked.
Yeah.
Most of the guys, at least.
I want to show you guys something. I think it's very funny. Let me see if I can pull it up here. I will say, and again, I know I started the top of the broadcast about Michigan Comic-Con. Ted Davies released his book, Retrieve. The one bit of good news is that he did have a
review.
He did have he actually had a really good sale. He has a set of books, and he personally went out. We talk about this a lot in regards to indie creators. He's been pounding the pavement, taking his books all over, and he actually went through 50 books, more than that. I'm not sure how many, but he may have had more than that. But I know we talked about it, and today he told me that because I am his publisher, full disclosure, has to order more. So he's completely out of books. He sold out internationally, some might say. Some companies have less scruples than mine, but he is sold out. So no matter what was said, Ted has had a really good weekend. Trico says, "Hey guys, missed you dudes. Feel like I haven't seen the show in weeks. It does feel like a long time.
He needs to get back in here.
Yeah. What's going on, Trike? You don't come in to see us anymore.
Yeah, you're always welcome here, bud.
He's just busy with the new school stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Come on, Professor, you got some time for us.
That's it.
I mean, down here with the schooling right now, it's ridiculous. It's like every day they've got people going in. Every new day, there's like one of the new schools starting in each one of the different counties, and it's crazy. We got 5 different buses from just in my area alone for different schools.
So I'm going to show you guys this here real quick, and a friend of mine, Tara, and her husband Corey, they both are artists, and they were at Michigan Comic-Con. They're from Grand Rapids. I like going up to the C4 show. I get to hang out with them. It's really and she put a post up, and I got permission to post this out to show this because I said, it was cool. It was funny to me, and I asked her permission. She said sure, and I think I showed it to a few of you guys, but I'm gonna show it again because I don't know if you guys can see that.
Oh yeah.
But she posted this and she said, "This is the grade this Comic-Con deserves." F. I will say about the show. Well, let me bring up a couple things that happened first when I walked in. When I walked into the show a couple years ago, anybody who knows me, and if you don't, you can probably look it up. I had an incident with a toy vendor. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to get sued. But me and him got into an argument, and he decided to call me the N-word, the magic N-word, about 4 times on video.
Nincompoop.
Yeah, he called me a nincompoop. And through that,
with the G's involved, right?
Yeah. We used to say it was agging backward. But he used to say, he did this, and conventions pretty much banned him all around. Lots of conventions. In fact, he had been on the Michigan Comic-Con guest list, and people had told him, "Hey, this guy is a prick." Just a couple weeks ago, or at that point, it was a couple weeks ago. He called, you know, he was being racist at another show in Michigan. Well, he disappeared off the list. He disappeared off of the list, which was okay, great. He's not there, and he was not at the show that year, 2018. This year, walking the show, there he is, setting up. I'm a little puzzled. I go to find security, tell him what's going on. This guy's here. Nobody knows where they told me give them a table number. I do that. That was on Thursday. I leave. I come back Friday. No one's told upper management anything. So,
Of course.
So I talked to upper management, and they said we're gonna go talk to him. They talk to him, and they come back at the end of the day, Friday. Say, oh, he said that he's gonna come apologize to you. This is to me and my wife. He's gonna come apologize to you, and I won't have a problem with him at all. He's gonna be a model exhibitor. You'll see. Blah blah blah. Well, I won't tell you what else she told me because some of that was personal. But I don't think she believed it too much that he was going to either. But
right. Give him enough rope to hang himself.
Yeah. And what happened was
he hung himself.
Yeah. He hung himself.
Not literally, folks, but
he kind of Epstein himself. No, he decided at the end of the day to get into it with another vendor, and he told that vendor to suck on a body part of his. He didn't realize that was a Polish Sicilian woman, and boy, oh boy, did she let him have a mouthful. And they kept going back and forth. Anyway, a young security guard came over there to try to fix it, try to calm the situation down, and he called the young security guard the N-word as well. So I can now tell everyone that gentleman has been banned from all Imaginarium events. He has been banned from a lot of other Comic-Cons because he did it. He did this right in front of our friend of the show, Mark Hodges. He did it right in front of Mark. So, he won't be going to Grand Rapids Comic-Con anytime soon. And he has been actually banned from Kobo for all events. So he can't even go to the auto show if he wanted to. So yeah, he gets our Idiot of the Day award. Maybe Idiot of the Week award. Good job, you idiot. Trico says
you don't have the Ren, you idiot.
Yeah, I don't. I don't.
Sure got that ready.
Yeah, I don't. I wish I did. But I do want to give him this though, since he was so stupid and got himself banned after gloating that they're not gonna put me out the show. They're not gonna put me out the show. Now you are banned from every Imaginarium show, and people are reaching out to other shows about you. First of all, here you go. You have been kicked out of the industry. You've been kicked out of every con. You have been kicked out of financial, whatever. Done. And I have to give him a hearty Stephen A. Smith laugh. What is this one right here? So he is gone. He is gone. He's a toy vendor, and he is gone. So, yeah. Maybe that
was your highlight of the weekend, wasn't it?
Oh, that was my highlight. I gloated. You know what? No matter how bad the show was, at the end, you could ask my wife. My chest was stuck out. You would have thought I had size triple D's. I was just walking. I look like Foghorn Leghorn.
I'll say, son.
I say he just got kicked out the show. Look at him. And I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy his band. Anyway, yeah. So that was my highlight. But that show, J.M. Hunter, who he put it on Facebook, so I guess I can say it. Good friend of mine. He actually has a paper. They're doing a paper called the Columbus Scribbler out of Ohio. But he came to the show with his books, and he made $13 for the weekend. $13 for the weekend. That's not good. I mean, even on a $230 table in Artist Alley, how can you do it? How can you do it? So yeah, but guys, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, all I know is I've seen a bunch of photos from that show, and I don't know how big the actual floor space was.
Huge.
Yeah. Was it bigger? Is it bigger than where it was at Motor City Con back in Novi? And when the first one that we did, Randy?
Yeah.
Bigger than that? Okay.
Yeah, depending upon how big the hall was.
Yeah.
I haven't done the show, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But if it's the same as what Fanfare 2 had, yeah, it was a big hall.
Okay. Because I'm looking at that thing and I'm going, oh my God, there is no space. It's like, yeah, I mean, that's not really what matters. I mean, the photos were like just so empty. There was nobody in the hallway or in the aisleways, period. I was just like, oh my God, did anybody even show up to this show? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
man, they had a lot of tables though. Look at that.
Yeah.
Counting Artist Alley. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there at 268. That was me. 268. And if I know a photo pickup actually wasn't there. That was concessions. All this was concessions. So,
nice. So in other words, you had oh, that's great. So you get all the distraction from the food.
Yeah.
And the star photo ops are still in the left corner to the left of you.
Yeah.
That helps you sell so much.
And Ted Davies is on hand. Ted, what do you think about our placement, Ted? I know you're not on to talk about it, but what do you think of our placement? Type it there in the chat, and I'll put it up on screen. Lola says, that's all he talked about when we got home. He didn't even make sure I was okay because I got a concussion. She did. Listen, everyone's used to my wife getting hurt at a convention. Everyone is used to it. Okay.
Where did she get a concussion from now?
She was under the table trying to dig through the convention stuff, and she raised her head to hit her head on the bottom of the table, and or her forehead. I think she hit her forehead. She was getting cussed, but that wasn't what was important. What was important was that Dale had been kicked out of the convention. That was important. I needed that to happen. I didn't care. Listen, she's making cuts so much at this point. It's like Kenny on South Park. Okay, oh my God, they killed Kenny. Oh my God, Lola's hurt. It's the same thing.
So in other words, should we buy her a helmet?
Yeah. Listen, last year, same show. She gets home. She lifts a box. The box falls down on her wrist, breaks her. I think it breaks her wrist or her hand or something like that. It broke something on her. I don't know. It wasn't an important part. And
every part is an important part. You're gonna pay for that one tonight, buddy.
It's not important. Yeah. Next time you want to be taken care of, think about that.
She needs to come run in the room and kick your ass. That's a good slap right there, buddy. See that hand of fate come out of nowhere.
She says, I was packing up and a customer came over to buy stuff, and I raised my head and hit it hard on the table. And it was. And then last year I broke where my thumb and wrist meet. That's where she. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, look. If she would stop trying to be Superwoman, this wouldn't happen. This wouldn't happen. I mean, we got a 9-year-old. Let him get hurt. But
you don't want that because then you'll have child protective services on your butt.
Oh yeah. As I'll end up doxing myself apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, here's the thing, guys. This particular event could have been. Now I want to tell you guys something else that I noticed was really weird about the event. Really, really weird about it. Okay. First of all, I don't know if can you see the entrance on screen?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So what you don't see is that once you go way down here, over in this yellow area. Okay.
Mhm.
There was bathrooms and stuff against the wall
Okay,
here.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
So you're not just at that. You're all the way back where they don't get to you until they've gone through every other possible section to get to you.
Yes.
Well, no wonder you didn't sell.
But
I've been through that mess before.
there's a black curtain. There's a black curtain starting at this wall, okay?
Mhm.
All the way behind star signings. Now I get that. I know why. So they can bring the stars in and they don't have to walk through the convention and get mobbed. I get that, okay? But they call it that section is only for staff. It goes all the way back here and all the way against the back wall and stops about right there. This long black draped curtain off section. Now you can't get back there, but that is where staff hung out for a long part of the night. So if you had a complaint or a security issue, you couldn't find them. Second thing was that, and Ted brought this to my attention, I did not feel that there was okay, I go to Wizard World shows, which is a big show, you know.
We're sorry.
Oh, yeah. You got metal detectors, you got they're winding people down. They didn't do any of that this show for some reason. I don't know what they did it last year. They had metal detectors. They didn't do that this year. They were checking bags, sure, but they didn't do that. I thought that was pretty weird. Ted said
they don't have metal detectors or wands at Motor City, do they?
Yeah. There's a I think you get wanded down now, Motor City. You might even go to
really.
My wife would know a little bit better because she goes outside to smoke.
That's news to me, but I haven't been there in a couple of years. So,
Ted says it was a geographical experiment of epic proportions. The networking opportunity was still excellent, and sales were made. So success is a point of perspective. Always learning, and that's a good thing. I mean, that's a good way to look at it. Glass half full, even if it's piss. But it's
wow.
I'm sorry, I'm on one tonight, guys. Look, my table was much more than $230,
right?
And
like I said, you were like in the back corner. You know, you got put in the corner, baby.
Yeah. I felt like I tried to get Randy to come down, but he was at home grounded. So
I was.
Did you make any headway on the basement?
I did.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm working on a commercial job right now, though. That's, you know, the last couple of days it's been kind of slowing me up that I've needed to get to for a while. I've been putting it off for too long.
And I've been working on setting up the Quote the Raven podcast.
I got
the music set, but that's about it.
He sent me a clip of the music. Sounds pretty good. I do have with the theme of today's show. Everybody seen the Cracked Diamond. Me and another publisher were talking about it at the convention, and he was telling me, he said, "Bro, there is no way you're gonna make any money dealing with Diamond. No way." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, explain." He says, "Listen, by the time Diamond's done nickel and diming you, you're actually in the hole even more than you would have been if you just took the books out to every store yourself. Diamond's making more money off of you than you are making it off yourself." And he says indie publishers have no business signing with Diamond at all.
I don't think indie publishers have to sign with Diamond. They just have to pass through their damn hoops and sell enough product to make it worth Diamond's while to distribute you.
Right.
After you pass their retailer conference people that, you have to be good enough to pass their retailer board.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 issues in advance.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I
don't know if those rules still apply or not, but I imagine they do.
Do you gentlemen think that Diamond is essential for an indie publisher? I mean, both of you, both of you have had work that went through Diamond,
right?
But you didn't. I don't think Lewis. I don't think you dealt with the business aspect. You know of it. You're versed in it, but you didn't have to.
No, I never directly dealt with Diamond. That was handled through others. You know, whether it was Randy and Scott at Arrow or Gary Reed at Caliber or wherever. But
what books did you do for Caliber?
Huh?
What books did you do for Caliber?
When I was working, nothing creative. I was interning with Randy as a Scott reader. You know, reading the
with who? With Gary?
Yeah, I was reading his submission stuff for him.
Oh,
so you're like a submission editor at that point. Is there submission?
I would say I was an intern. I wouldn't say I was an editor.
Okay. I don't know if like I would. Gosh, I don't know if like me personally. I mean, the dream is to be distributed to the Diamond. That was a dream years ago. I don't know if it's necessary today. Does it help? Maybe put a bigger magnifying glass on your company, guys?
Not necessarily.
With Diamond, it's all volume. If you're moving enough volume, you're making enough money. If you're making enough for Diamond to actually move you, then you're making some profit. But Diamond, for a while there, Diamond is making more money off of you than you're making. You know, especially if you're not matching their hoops. Anymore, they're a lot more stricter than what they were back in the Arrow days, because we were moving 1,000, 1,500 or so, and then they kept moving the hoop up until they could tell us what books they would allow to be put in previews and what ones they wouldn't. So even though a book was about to clear their hoop, they canceled the book at the last minute in order to keep us for one, to cripple the production on the book, and for two, to keep us from getting any bigger than what we were getting. So, and then we were hearing from retailers about how they were cutting their orders. So they would order 5, they'd order 5 and get 3. So that's just my Arrow's personal stories. Everybody else had different stories.
Yeah, well, you weren't the only company that had that problem where you'd get ordered 5 and then they'd say 3. Would only get sent to the retailers. When I did the investigative journalism for Comic Book Life magazine online for Steve Jackson Games, I come across about 18 different independent publishers who had that same story with Diamond. So,
isn't that what's happened to Samedi now?
No, Samedi's got a whole. He gets a whole different carnival,
because Samedi is doing the deal with the newsstand on his own, and it's a whole different situation, because the other guys back then in the late 90s, early 2000s didn't go in that option.
No, that Samedi still deals with Diamond. It's just he gets a lot of problems with Diamond, but as far as I know, it's not like that. It's a lot of missed pallets. He'll have an entire pallet dropped off at Diamond that they won't find for a week or two, especially at real key points, like when there's an important book that he wants to get out. So they play all sorts of crazy little games with him. It's pretty annoying, in my opinion.
I gotta tell you guys this. Speaking of which, when I started Indie Vault, my whole thing was, I wanted to do the journalism part of the industry. I wanted to be a voice in the industry to kind of call out, even bad behavior. One of the first stories they were posted was when some guys went to a hotel, and some creators, and their hotel was full of roaches. Like, the hotel room was filthy. It was like one of the first.
Done that before, yeah.
And one of the things that I found out today, and I can't say names, but I'm working on it, and I'll tell you guys off the air. Maybe we can all work on it together. But there is how can I phrase this without giving away too much? Gosh. Okay.
Be right back. I'm still here, but I gotta turn the camera off.
Okay. There is the question of what did he know and when did he know it? There is a publisher who sat on their butt and reaped the benefits of getting money from other publishers. And maybe not even getting money from them. I won't say he got money, because I have no proof that he got money. But he knew some information that would have helped other publishers, before shit went down, and he didn't do anything. He didn't say anything. He just got his business straight and moved on.
Okay.
And the question is, what he knew and when he knew it. And if speaking up a month or so would have helped a lot of other publishers. Not just that though, but anybody, his closest allies and buddies, they were okay. They were okay. They came out okay in the deal. other ones didn't. And so that may be a story we might post on Indie Vote. I'm probably gonna lose some friends, but yeah, we'll talk about it off the air. But guys, anybody listening, be careful who you're doing business with out there for printing, for your website design, for every little thing in cons. Be careful who you're dealing with, because some people, even some of the promoters who do cons, some of these guys can be, and girls can be horrible people. But I'm not one of them. I'm an angel.
To answer Trico's question, he asked when Quote the Raven was coming out. It's scheduled for early September.
Mm-hmm. Early September.
Yep.
It's cold. It's frigid in September.
Yep.
What are you going to talk about on the show? Porn career. Porn career. So let's see here. So while we and I need to get off camera for just a second because I need to go grab something. I think you guys will like.
Okay.
But I can hear you. So
yeah, basically I'll be covering various comics and showing me working at the table and other stuff going on. Not sure what all else yet, but depends what people ask me for. So
I went to get something. I just posted another video up on the Zim Geek channel on how to draw hot stuff.
yes, I saw that. That was cool.
It was fun. And I did that because I was asking for comments on what to teach how to draw, and hadn't been getting very many in. Got one guy who wants me to do a couple characters from Avatar, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Avatar: The Last Airbender. I mean, not Avatar.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
Cartoon characters.
I misunderstood. I made the connection wrong. No, you're right.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you for clarifying.
Want to do a video on Harvey in general. I need to do a little bit more research first. I've got all of the information for the next video. I'm hoping to get out the next day or so. I just got to mix it and run a soundtrack. So, But you got music? You're running on yours, huh?
Just intro music. Yeah, I'm doing a kind of a animated graphic and music intro to the show. So,
well, thanks, Ted. Ted says it was a really good video. Appreciate it, Ted. Thank you. Just running back up the chat. If you have a question while
Varian's out.
Varian's digging through, or hopefully he didn't lose his electricity.
Yeah.
I know it was storming down there, so if you have a question in the chat, feel free. Load it up. We got 6 people watching now and only 2 people hitting that like button. There, I just made it 3. Hit that like button. Hit that bell for notifications for Indie Volt if you haven't hit it yet.
Damn.
Swing over there. Subscribe to the Zim Geek channel if you haven't subscribed to that yet. All subscriptions are welcome. You're not impinging on anybody's stuff by doing it. So it's all good.
Apologies for me messing with my ear. I just got a bad wax infection and I'm trying to get it out. And I don't know. I'm going to probably have to end up going to the doctor later this week on it.
Nah.
Let's see. All right, I'm back, fellas.
Just in time. We were given too much dead air. So
we want to. So everyone has got a chance to watch for the last couple of weeks. Anybody who's watched a couple of days ago, we had a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks now, we had Stephanie Menard on. And so Stephanie obviously was at the convention, got a chance to hang out with her for a while. And to our Indie Vote viewers, we will be giving away a copy of Aeonian, number 1.
Cool.
Stephanie's book. It is
little shiny on that cover.
Yeah, it's
looks good though.
It's my light, but Aeonian, we have a copy here. We're gonna be giving away for free to a lucky Indie Vote viewer. Stephanie, the interiors are gorgeous. It's a really nice looking book. So this is the first
Sweet.
issue. Second issue is on Kickstarter right now, so we're giving that away. And we're gonna give away to somebody in the chat, possibly. So we'll see. Make sure, obviously, you have to like in order to be like and be subscribed to the video, to the channel, in order to get that sweet Aeonian book. And I got some other books too, like you mentioned, that a lot of indie creators were more than happy to have us give away here on the live stream. So that being said,
So now is the time to learn. You guys will be coming back after we do our shows live. Come and watch us live.
yeah.
This is what we're going to start doing a lot more often.
Yeah. I like giving away stuff. It's pretty cool. Oh, she has a right up here in the back. It says a family that will do anything to live forever holds the key to eternal life. Can they use it to escape their fate? One man stands between them and their goal. A stranger with a priceless secret. The first issue of the time-spanning drama from writer Stephanie Menard and artist Stan Yak, with colors by Robert Nugent and letters by Rob Jones. Aeonian #1. And I mean, this looks pretty good. And she showed me do you guys remember we were looking at the enamel pins she had on her campaign. Yeah, so I seen the art for that, and she was right. That art versus what's on the enamel pin, I want that print because it's a really cool print. It's got a skull and an hourglass and the sand. Oh, it's awesome looking print. But
that's the difference in the medium from going from a picture and having to shrink it down onto a small pin and be able to print it on the pin.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I want to get you guys' take on another conversation I had while at the con. I was talking to a guy who's working on his third campaign, and he told me
Indiegogo or Kickstarter.
He did not mention that. He did not mention which.
How does first two go?
They were successful.
Okay.
But he was telling me that they've been learning experiences. So many times, a lot of these creators, they jump on there, they come up with unrealistic tiers. Like, hey, this, $400 tier or whatever will get you. I'm gonna do this album, and I'm gonna give you the art book and all this other stuff, and they don't really have the ability to do that stuff, or they haven't even priced it correctly. Do you guys think that Kickstarter, Indiegogo is causing or maybe making some creators better money managers? Because for years, I was always told that artists are horrible at managing money. And as a matter of fact, I was talking to some of the guys that
there's a lot of them that are, but there's
the Hero Initiative, and they were saying that their hope is that, and from what they're seeing, they will not be needed in a couple of years. They can close up shop and be, done, because the older guys, some of them are passing on, but the other ones have learned better money management.
Are you talking about retailers or creators here?
Creators.
That's because the creation and money management are two different sides of the brain. Left brain, right brain reaction. But that's part of the reason why a lot of these guys' first campaigns get tripped up or that get severely delayed or whatever. It's because they offer stuff that they can't deliver. Or they offer stuff that's too expensive or too crazy to get to. I think there's a couple of campaigns that are 4 or 5 years old on Kickstarter that they've had to stall and restall and restall because of that reason. And with Indiegogo, at least, I imagine that Kickstarter's at that point now too. You can't do another campaign until you fulfill the previous one. So
and let's talk about that too, Randy, because I know
we've hit the 10 o'clock hour with the TV 14.
Yeah. Oh, it's right. It's the right time to talk about it.
I swear, come off.
Yeah. What in the hell?
What in the hell
is wrong? What happened? Explain to me, Randy, because I'll explain to our viewers.
You can't explain it.
We were both kind of ticked off.
You can't explain it. There's no way to explain it. Like I told you, there's no way to explain it.
They
No, well, there is a way to explain it, but you can't make sense of it. Don't try to make sense of it. We're talking Coffin Comics, right?
Yeah.
Brian Paluto, trailblazer for crowdfunding.
Mhm.
He's literally showed people how to make this into an industry. Literally did. And there's so many people that are chasing his business model.
Mhm.
He's kicking out a book every 3 months,
Mhm.
and he's got a couple of properties that he's rotating through and doing. And he's at the point now with his campaigns that he's getting everything done. He's paying for all of the art and all of the printing. It's pretty much at the printer by the time he starts the campaign, or just about right as it's closing. So he knows what his print run's going to be. Well, he ends up the one campaign, and I'll massacre the name, La Muerta, which is a Latino, pretty much from what I've been able to gather, a female Lady Death type character.
La Muerta, yeah.
La Muerta.
Yeah.
Anyway, he finishes up that campaign and he starts his promotional push for the next Lady Death book.
Mm-hmm.
Starting the campaign on Friday. He's getting ready to go live with the campaign, and the gatekeeper at Kickstarter tells him, no, can't do it because you haven't filled the last one, which puts all the brakes on, even though he has everything, already in the pike. He has to bring in people over the weekend in order to repack, or in order to pack up for the book for shipping. He has to go through and videotape all of the mailboxes ready to go and pretty much beg this gatekeeper to allow this campaign to kick off right when he was advertising that it was going off on. Now that particular campaign, once he did kick it off, he cleared 200, I think it was 200,000 in 48 hours.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Partly because of his promotional push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because he's gotten it down to a science on how to push it.
Right, but isn't Brian one of their grandfather creators to begin with? They should already know.
Can't explain it. Don't try to make sense of it.
Okay.
The gatekeeper was apparently, in my opinion, was trying to shove their weight around.
Mm-hmm.
I am the gatekeeper. I don't care who you are. You don't get to put this thing out there until I'm sure I've been personally assured that this product's on the, Whoa. Wait a minute. That's a whoa moment.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? This guy's pulling down what, $1 million for you a year? 7% of $1 million a year? And you want to try to discourage this guy's or throw any type of a monkey wrench in. All you had to do is call him. Brian, did you finish the book before this one? Because, we have a rule and all this, and I don't want to stop your campaign because you make us way too much. No, you can't do it. And it sounded to me from the way, and I might be wrong on this, the way it was explained in an interview that I saw with him on, I don't even remember the video show that I saw him on, but it was a book, or it was an independent video guy. I don't remember who interviewed him. It wasn't Clownfish. It was somebody along that, somebody that's out there looking for, looking at the crowdfunding part, or the independent, pushing the independent stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, the impression that I got was that they just, it's going to stop it. No, you're not putting this out until we got whatever. And he's freaking and he's pulling people in and having them work extra hard for days in order to make sure everything was all ready to go. Here we go. It's going out. It's going out. It's going out. Let us have the campaign. Let it go live when we advertised it was going to go live. And then, like I said, he had 200,000 within 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So
what a great way to encourage somebody to, whoa, fuck, man. Yeah. There we go. That looked like a fruit label.
Yeah.
A label on a fruit can.
I could have used this one.
There you go. You need 3 of them, though.
Whoa.
I'll send you a cartoon with a horse.
Okay. Yeah.
Or pulling. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's like, you ever see Here Comes the Gump? We need to get that. With the Gump and the dragon. You never saw that. It's before your time.
No.
Lewis might remember it, but
I think I do.
I remember that cartoon.
You
can dig it up on YouTube.
So what do you do, Lewis? What do you do? You're launching.
What can you do?
You're launching your new book, and the gatekeeper says
you can't explain it. You have to cater to whatever whim, thanks to the gatekeeping.
I have a
going
question. I have a question. Now, and here's where we talk about scandal and names.
Mhm.
I want to put out a comic book.
Mhm.
You are the person standing between me and crowdfunding, and I have to please you before I can move to crowdfunding so I can get this book out. Doesn't that seem like that would be something you would call Comicsgate? Like
No,
what-
but that's a horrible name.
yeah, I know.
That's
it is.
always been. You know how I feel about that label. It's a horrible label because it's negativity,
Mhm.
and that's not what the whole point of everything's all about. Gate, ever since Watergate,
Yeah.
it bleeds scandal, and it's just no.
Right now, in my
That's
house.
just a bad name for everything.
Right now, in my house, we have we have right now we have GameGate, and not Gamergate, but GameGate. Or
If you keep talking bad about Lola, you're going to have Celibate Gate
yeah, yeah,
working in your house.
yeah, yeah,
Couch Gate,
yeah,
here it comes.
yeah. I'll be I'll be on the couch and in the doghouse. The thing is,
Pound Gate. There we
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
It's Pound Gate for you, son.
no, the thing is, because we can't figure out how my son keeps getting a hold of video games, like computers, and he keeps getting on the computer, on his grandmother's computer, on no matter where he's at. If he comes to your house, some way he figures out a way to get on the computer and play video games, and he plays the most violent games he can possibly find.
That's not good.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? But so right now it's it's computer gate at my house. How to
Tell
go
him,
on the
if you don't straighten up, it's all going to be Doc McStuffins 24/7.
yeah.
Playing in your room until we say it doesn't. You're done, Doc. You're going to know every line of dialogue from every episode of Doc McStuffins. Or what's that? Sophia, Princess Sophia. There you go.
Yeah. Ooh,
What a great cartoon. Anyway, in my opinion.
So, I mean, you stop somebody who's putting money into their campaign, money and time into the promotion of their campaign, and then you tell them, and I tell you, Lewis, you can't put that out. You can't put that out and say, I've been personally pleased to know that you fulfilled your last funding, even though you brought my company, the company I work for.
I'm really not one to say because I've never worked with them, so I don't know how that all that
Don't
works.
care. Don't care. You don't kiss my butt. Man.
That's all it is. You know, I mean,
That's why I keep saying that there will be a company rise up eventually that'll crowdfund comics.
mhm.
That'll pop up just to do that. You know, there's a site up there. There's two
Wouldn't be
sites up there
surprised
already.
if Van Sciver does it.
Huh?
I wouldn't be surprised if Van Sciver does it.
Oh, he's too busy. He's got stuff rolling. He's too busy trying to get his company off the ground, just like everybody else up there. So I don't know. It'll be somebody with a business sense. You know, there needs to be policies and procedures, but you don't need and stress people out with their yeah. But then again, maybe Brian hadn't told Facebook that this was rolling, that things were already in process before they come down and clamp down on him. But and I know he's been trying to streamline his system too, so that he can kick out more than 3 books or 4 books a year, which everybody, well, he's got it down to a science. He could logically be doing one every other month at minimum, 48-page books, because he's at that point, He knows how much he's going to pull down roughly for each campaign. It's just a matter of stuffing that and making it go higher.
Yeah, I think that
he's created a fan base over the last 4 or 5 years that he's been out.
Yeah, I think that what happens is, I can understand a company trying to look out for their base, making sure people aren't getting screwed. I understand that, but when it's somebody who has brought you,
Has been consistent.
Exactly. Yep.
brought you tons of money.
Yep.
Okay, this guy prints money.
Yep.
And now, how much shit would they feel?
Because I know over at Indiegogo, they've given special permissions, but you have to get permission. You have to get up there and inform the people, hey, I'm going to do this, but I also want to do this. And this campaign is going to overlap with that campaign, but everything's going real good on the first campaign.
Yeah.
Over at Indiegogo, they will let certain people do multiple campaigns.
Mhm.
But
they have to have that assurance that they're going to get fulfilled.
Do
you know?
you, as and let's just say you could swap places real quick.
But if I was Brian Polito,
Yeah, would you be gone?
no, I would be. Well, that's the time that you take the person above the gatekeeper out to lunch. You know, that's the time you take the supervisor out to lunch and politely go, hey, look, you know, I want to do this every other month. I've been doing it for 4 years. I've got at least 12 campaigns under my butt. I don't know how many campaigns he's got, but I do know it's a lot because he's made a lot. And, you know, bless him for his effort and all that. He deserves everything that he's worked for. And he needs to tell them that, hey, I've worked for this much. I've brought you in this much money. I want to do this every other month now. And that means some of these campaigns are going to overlap. Can we do it? If we can't do it, well, I got to go someplace else. I got to start my own.
How about you, Lewis? Are you done? Would you be done with him?
I could see Polluto going out and hiring a business person and starting it up on his own.
Yeah.
Easy. And then he makes, you know, he'd give the guy the 7%.
Yeah, if I had Polito's resources, I'd be doing it on my own. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's at the point now where he's paying for all the production. He's probably working 3 or 4 books out.
If I looked at resources, I would be setting it up where you would be able to order a straight up monthly subscription and, you know, just have it shipped out every month.
Well, he wouldn't be able to. That's a workload I think he's not prepared for, especially because the books that he's doing, I think, are 48 pages minimum. They're like prestige format books.
Okay, well then it'd probably be bi-monthly then.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah, bi-monthly is probably what he's hoping for.
Yeah.
If in fact you guys, let's say this happened on Kickstarter, where you know they had a gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that you
you need to be fair on this too. You know, next week, tomorrow, whenever, Indiegogo could make a gatekeeper just as bad.
Sure. But let's just say right now,
As long as this is just like one-time incident, it could be just a simple misunderstanding too. So,
would you reach out? Can't hear?
No, I was going to say that's depending upon who you talk to. That's not quite the way.
Would you reach out to him, to Polito, if you were the other side and say, "Hey, heard you're having difficulties over there"?
It all depends on how bad that 7% is.
Yeah.
How bad they want that 7%. Hey, he might be a drop in the bucket. I don't know. I don't know their business. I can't. You know, it could be like Marvel, where Marvel Publishing, where they're just letting them run. You know, whatever rodeo they want to do, go do it, whatever you want. This is your corner. You do whatever you need. You know.
Looks like Viking Yoda is trying to sneak up behind Randy.
He is. He's busy. He's planning his own Indiegogo campaign. He's been working on it for a few weeks. I've caught him at night. It's been a problem. Hearing a little rustling around. You know, I know it's not. I know it can't be mice because I got a cat. So got to be Yoda. It's like Yoda's planning his damn campaign. As long as I don't catch him down here watching porn, it's all good.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was fun. Anyway. After the 10 o'clock hours, kids.
So I do have I only have one question. But I want to ask you both. So it's a hypothetical con question. It's our favorite game. So I'm not gonna bring the wheel out because there's only one question. But okay. So you are at a Comic-Con, which is where this usually starts at, right? Okay.
Okay.
And
that was our first mistake.
Right. You're at a Comic-Con.
We'll still do Comic-Cons.
The promoter comes up to you and says, not the promoter, I'm sorry. Security comes up to you and says, hey, you guys, you gotta shut it down. We're sorry. The promoter, we're having a disagreement with the promoter. Show shut down. I should mention it's only one day into the show. So this is, like mid-Friday. So
we're having a problem with the venue?
We're having the venue wants you guys out. I'm
just us or everybody else?
Everybody.
Okay.
Well, everybody go. How do you handle that situation? We'll go with Randy first.
Well, if they say it's time to go, it's time to go, but there'll be refunds.
Exactly.
There'll be refunds or lawsuits, probably both. That's fine. All depends on how much I had to pay for the table. If I was given the table, okay. Got to go. Everybody else has got to go. I'll go. Why stay when there's no crowds?
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. There is 2 questions, but that's okay because you both can answer them. All right. So, Lewis, where are you at on that one?
Same thing as Randy.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of a no-brainer, Variant.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to know because some people said, if I'm not getting money,
What are they going to do? I'm going to stay. All the rest of the crowd's going to be gone, but I will be here selling books.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That's not going to work.
All right. So the next question is your neighbor. This did not happen to me. Well, it did happen to me, but I want to know you guys what you guys would do. What you guys want to know what you guys would do in the situation. It's been on some of the comic creator Facebook groups that we have. I was right across from the people this happened at. If I was, I know I put the Booth's number up earlier, but I can't remember their number. But there was I forget the name of their company, Bearded something. They had a booth set up, a bunch of Minion stuffed animals, Deadpool stuffed animals, stuffed dolls, Black Panther.
That makes him a vendor, not a artist alley person.
Yeah. Oh my God! I'm glad I had the 10. There's Lewis's pussy.
Shadow Cat.
I figured you probably were wondering what some of the people were watching. What's he doing over there with his hand on the other side there?
Lewis is stroking his cat live on Indie Vault.
Nobody cares what you do with your hands. They just don't want to see
it. so there's these people, and they have a large 50-inch TCL TV on the table, a PlayStation Mini, a PS4 Spider-Man edition.
That's bigger than what I got at my house.
They've got all these cool things set on the table, and I'm like, are they selling this stuff? What's going on? And they're playing a game. The game is called Razzle. Apparently, there's no way to win at Razzle. Okay. They took a lady at Michigan Comic-Con. I wish you would have came to me first. They took her for $2,000.
Well, that's illegal. That's gambling.
Right. They were. Now here's the problem.
And the state will be pissed that they didn't get their taste. It's that simple. They'll want them out of the hall. The promoters will want them out of the hall. Done. You did what? And that lady that lost the $2,000, not happy.
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gambling. It's a con game.
Yeah. At the show.
Well, technically, it's gambling though.
We're in the group. Somebody, whoever told on them, because I had no idea what they were doing. They actually came over and bought some art for me. So I'm imagining now I'm making my art's probably going to be pre-printed. They're gonna make prints out of my art. But anyway,
they don't sound very ethical people.
Well, there was like 9 of them over there, 9 people at that table. But they're in there and they're doing. I see people going over to their table, buying, playing that game, giving money, and no one's walking away with anything at all. Mm-hmm. But apparently, according to the Facebook group that I'm in, a guy notified the convention staff. Mm-hmm. That this was happening, and the game Razzle, I looked it up. It's you can't win. Mm-hmm. You can't. It's impossible to win. So, they were made aware,
and they called it that.
Yeah. They were made aware. They were made aware that it was.
Well, that's kind of stupid.
That it was going on Friday.
Yeah,
they put them out Sunday at about 1:00.
Wow,
4 hours left to go.
In the meantime, all day Saturday they banked.
Oh yes. A parent and another guy in the.
How much are they getting paid on the side to let it happen? That's the question.
Well, that's the thing.
That'd be the next question.
A guy from the show said that he ran the show. They showed up, and when they went to them and said, "Guys, you gotta get out of here with this. You're gambling." They said, "No, it's not. It's this. It's that." And here. We'll give you 25% of what we make.
Oh yeah, that's sleazy. Is that what happened? Was this at the
Michigan Comic-Con?
Yeah.
They didn't offer. I don't know how much they offered them, but my wife witnessed it, and Katrina actually. No, Katrina didn't witness it. Katrina wasn't. She had left the table, but my wife witnessed it, and another gentleman, and they told me that there was cussing and screaming. and they
From
were very
people not winning.
no, from the vendors, from the people who were getting kicked out.
Heck yeah.
They were very upset because they had made money that week, and then again, 4 hours left to go in the show, and they've been told you're getting kicked out.
Yeah, they should have been gone early Friday.
Hodges told me that he's banned them before. I think he said
Tried the same BS.
They tried it, or they were going to, and he realized who they were.
Yeah,
and it is
well, that's incredibly illegal. Whether they want to label it as gambling or not, if it's any type of a game of chance where you win a prize, you're pretty much gambling.
Mm-hmm.
And that's trouble with the state right there, not just the city. I mean, the city could come in and get them. The state could come in and get them. The county could come in and get them for that. And that's like having a little poker machine set up in a bar where you're giving away stuff. That's illegal too, unless you're sanctioned by the state. So that's why they have casinos, son.
I can't find. I was trying to see if I can find their name.
That's not what cons are for. They needed to be flushed very early on Friday, and just here's your table money. Get your ass out. Get the hell out of here because that comes back on them too. Mm-hmm. Especially now that they've taken 25%, because that really comes back on them.
Where they offered this one guy show 25% the stay. I'm not sure how much. No, he said nope, and he put him out, and
they should have put him, like I said, Friday. The first minute they found out they were doing it. Phew.
Yeah, well, that's what people were complaining about. They were like, they knew good and damn well what was going on, and they did nothing about it.
Sure, they weren't associated with the con to start with.
I'll keep my mouth shut. I don't think so, but I'll keep my mouth shut because look,
you can assume. Well, actually, in my opinion,
look, there are certain ways, Randy.
It's possible.
You run a pretty laid back show, okay?
Yeah.
I've come to your shows and you provide donuts. All this, it's almost. I mean, it's a very family friendly show, right? Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, what would I think I mentioned this to you online? But what would your reactions be, guys, if you walk into a show and when you pull up, you notice the security guard for the facility is holding a bottle of what looks like alcohol, like a beer, and then when you get inside the event, you notice that a lot of staff has alcohol, open alcohol. Like during load-in, that's the convention staff.
Yeah, that would be bad news. Mm-hmm. Convention staff or union people?
Convention staff, like
either way. It'd be like, dude, it's family-friendly show. Dump that alcohol. Get it out of here.
Can you?
It's the same as smoking to me. You don't do that in the facility. Not only is that illegal too now, but we're a family-friendly show. Just
isn't it like, hey guys, let's wait to we can do this at the after party. Mm-hmm. Like we have to make people to load it in, and
it's a 3-day show though. I'd recommend it on Sunday.
Yeah,
after party.
Yeah, but I mean, what's going on? I mean, let's see here.
That's what you call bad news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like they could have done it. I mean. They need to get over there sooner. Yeah, see, I don't think that was them. I'm seeing, they must have gotten there because the people who were across from me, I thought the name of their company was something else, but what I'm seeing here is 264 would have been K&B Confessions. And the reason why I'm putting this information out is because I don't want anybody else to go to a Comic-Con and get taken. You think, oh, here's a game. Oh, my kid would really love to have that.
I could win a TV.
Yeah, I could win a TV. Yeah. I could win this video game, and they get taken for $30, $40 because you're almost, according to the rules of the game that I read, you're almost this close to having enough points to get the TV or to get the the whatever
prize.
It is. Yeah, and then you just miss it because it's impossible to actually win. So I don't want anybody. They get taken by this game at a con, and as long as we have these people who now they hear there's big money at Comic-Con, they're coming down there with these games of chance.
Scammers and opportunists come out of the woodwork whenever there's money to be made anyway. It's
And-
just typical.
And
Like
this,
we were talking earlier about the black and white bus. That's what happened. A lot of
And-
opportunists popped in and decided to take advantage of the opportunity that the retailers thought black and white books were all going to be hot.
and this is the part where I have to apologize to everybody, because they were talking to me about, shows and everything. And I'm like, yeah, I do a lot of shows, and you guys should try, the Monroe Pop Fest or the Flint Comics show. So, Randy, if you
I got a guy coming up wanting to play Razzle.
yeah,
I'd be
Razzle
like,
or bring in a box of, but I have a game where I give away people. Just nah, sorry. So it's my fault if you.
I got a toy guy there who spins the wheel, but that's not what he's playing. So
no. These they come pretty deep. I mean, it's like 6-7 people. They're all there ready to, and it's like 4 women, and the rest are these big kind of beefy guys, and all the guys like they go whoop it.
Big beefy guys go, "What you gonna do about it?"
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do about it is probably kick you in the ass and then shove your face through your table.
They didn't ask me to play at all. They were very nice to me, but I wasn't the
they
mark.
didn't have to ask. They were making money as it was.
Yeah.
They don't want to bother the other vendors. They're already they're already hoodwinking the unsuspecting clientele.
And what one of the ladies was doing is she was, as people would pass by, she'd walk to them and say, "Hey guys, here," and she'd hand both. If it was 2 people, she'd hand them. One guy got a yellow piece of paper, another guy got a pink piece of paper. They unfold them, and she said, "Okay, you got this. Come on to the table." And they come over there, and
yeah, that's extra sleazy.
yeah, and then so let me stop you. I mean, so you know what? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I know everyone had a bad show, but maybe I would have had a bit of a better show had I not been having to deal with
The razzle dazzle.
Yeah. I will say this too. The convention should have got him out of there a lot sooner. If it's true that the convention knew very early on who these people were and what they were doing, and they failed to get them out of there before Sunday, that's low. And I think that I think that that's part of that's part of the problem with Comic-Con is that the some of the promoters, not all of them, but a lot of them, these guys, they didn't really care because like Mark Hodges has to stand behind his brand. At the end of the day, if something goes wrong with that show, we know Mark is the figurehead of that show. With a show ran by a big organization, kind of a big faceless organization, some people tend to get to this mentality where, well, this is my job, this is what I do. I don't really care if that person over there is gambling and taking somebody for $2,000. But the gentleman who pointed it out to me, gosh, I can't find it, but he told me that he posted that they had been kicked out of another show and someone else got taken for more than $2,000. Like this $2,000 with the
they shouldn't be allowed to run that game at all for very long. As soon as you figure out that I don't care what they say, if it's gambling or not, it's gambling. They're done. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, the state or whoever comes in there, they can slam them. That lady who's not happy, could have called whoever if she knew, if she was connected enough, she could have had him there in a couple hours minimal. And that, he's arrested, they're ticketed. And everything is confiscated, which is what probably should have happened.
Yeah, I mean, they did. Yeah, they just put them out, and from what I understand, they made quite the scene while putting them out. Like, it was a lot of cussing, a lot of yelling.
That's fine. That's fine. You grab all of your security guys and you tell them not only are they out, but they're going to stay out. They're done. Mm-hmm. They're done. Even if you have to refund their table. But I'm sure they signed a contract going in that if they found them doing something that they didn't like, they could get them to leave, and they forfeited their table money anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody signed the standard convention contract. Just flush them. Boom. Yeah, okay. You can argue and stammer around all you want. You can yell right back at them. That's when you bring your guys out. Like I said earlier, throw all their stuff on a cart, not gently. Push it right out the door. It's right out there. Go get your stuff. Do not come back in. It's that easy. You know?
I'm gonna read to you.
Even on a big show, you just got to make sure you have enough security guys there.
I read to you guys.
That's when you get the whole troop together and you just push them out.
I'm gonna read to you guys the post.
They could be loaded up and out in 10 minutes.
At Michigan Comic-Con, we just informed security surrounded and walked out a vendor. Anyone knowing anything more? And what was posted was let me see here.
And as a convention promoter, I'd get right up in there on the Facebook page and make a note. These people were gambling. They had a game. They said it wasn't gambling, but it definitely was gambling. There was no question in my mind. I flushed them.
Apparently same vendor that crashed GalaxyCon in Kentucky last year, and then they were escorted out. So the post was those currently gambling vendors are the worst. They try to sign up every show under fake names. You wouldn't believe how persistent they are. After first year, though, if a promoter allows them back, I always know the promoter is shady as hell and likely getting a cut. At first year of a tattoo con, I ran one got in saying they were a different type of vendor. We had no idea what they did, and some lady lost $8,000 with them. The lady had her own issues. Walked by and saw
had somebody with a gambling problem.
Yeah. Walked by and saw this and immediately dealt with it. They offered us 25% of all the money they made if we let them stay, but obviously we threw them out. Nonetheless, every year another one tries to sneak in again, 7 years in a row.
Wow. It's probably the same troop.
I almost want to say that, yeah, I'll take your 25% and then take all their damn money and refund it to the people who came to the damn tables.
Well,
and
that's impossible.
Against the bastards myself.
I'm sure they all come in and spent penny ante unless they were a big time gambler like those people that were losing $8,000 and $2,000.
Yeah.
So that would be a little rough to do, and you can't. You really at that point you just got to cut them loose. And then the next thing would be it's not really a gambling game. Well, just a second, because I've got the gambling commission on speed dial, and I can have them here in an hour. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Timer starts. Mm-hmm. And you get the number. You have the number. You back it up, and you go, "Hey, I got guys at my show that are breaking the rules. They're not leaving. They're here gambling. Mm-hmm. We need to go. Will you come and take?" I'm sure the state police would run over there and help you out.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. I think I'm reading the list of comments. I think one of the people may have kind of revealed themselves, because it was a poster writes, at least low lights like that make people who vended these shows look better. Actually, I think there was one of those at Grand Rapids Comic-Con next to me the first year I did it, like 4 or so years ago. It smelled shady, and I was even green back then. And someone comes in and says, "Would you call them low lights to their face?" Which I think are you defending these people? But
probably one of those people.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean,
what do you mean we can't play our game?
Yeah, it's
But dude, I'm sorry. Carnivals are, twice a year in the church parking lot. That's why they're, set up like that.
Yeah.
You're done. Get out of here.
Yeah,
it's not very difficult to call the gaming commissioner, to call the cops and say, hey, that, and it's your discretion. It's a promoter. If you got the right contract or the right agreement with people, you can flush anybody at any time. Just, you're done. Go. We're obviously not getting along. You're gambling. And even if it's not really gambling, in my opinion, it's definitely gambling. You're out of here. Go. Mm-hmm. And like I said, you'd get the security guys. After you start moving a couple of them 50-inch TVs a little roughly, they'll get the idea and get their ass out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that they would
over at like the Flint Farmers Market, we got that great big long ramp. We just put them out right outside the door. Excuse me, Scott, we've got somebody that's leaving. Take them with the car, take it right up to that ramp, and you better go get it.
Listen, if
it's time to go.
If in fact somebody told them this is what's going on, and someone told them that Friday, be it another vendor, be it a fan, and they did nothing until Sunday, shame on them.
Yep.
Shame on them, because not just that, I mean, the reluctance to put anybody out the show this weekend was high. I mean, so I got one guy over there who I'm telling you is going to be a problem. You didn't listen to me, and he was. And now you got gamblers in there, and someone told you what they were doing, and you did nothing. And finally, you say, "Oh, you know what? You might need to have some shakeup there in management."
Probably, yeah, yep. But having somebody there hurts everybody. Have somebody there running a scam like that. That hurts the vendors. That hurts the attendees that come in and spend more money, or their attendee's mom that comes in and decides that they're gonna that mom, after they lose all that money, not realizing that they can't win, they'll never come back to that show again. They'll never let their kids come back to that show.
They'll think it's all of us.
They'll tell everybody there, I was at this game and it's a scam and it didn't win, and
all those people
don't ever do that show. Suddenly you can watch your attendance drop like a stone.
Or better yet, don't ever do a Comic-Con. Don't ever go to those things. They're just
scams. They just got carnival dudes there doing crappy stuff, and it could give the whole industry a bad name. Really.
Yeah.
Easy.
I wish, and I think that sometimes some of these cons, again, so we talk about good promoters, need to step forward and say, hey guys, look, I know they come with different names each time, but this was the name they were using. Say again?
Take them out, take photos of everybody involved in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Spreading around, yep.
Well, that would be the first time they wanted to argue with me. That's the time that you whip out your phone, you take pictures of everybody and go, dude, I'm connected with all of the major promoters in the state. You're done. You're not getting back in for period, because I'm going to spread your photo around to everybody. That's because you're not leaving when I asked you to leave.
My wife says she's going off for tonight. She's got a bad internet signal in the back of the house. So
she's got
She's got a bad internet signal in the back of the house.
Oh,
good night. Good night, Lola. Yeah.
I know what vendor you're talking about. They don't have a license to do that kind of thing, and you can't get a license to do that kind of thing in Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the casinos are for.
Yeah.
You can't, like I said, you can't even run a poker game in a bar without getting into serious trouble.
So it's cool. Mark Hodges is in the chat, and he says, I know what vendor you were talking about. They don't have a license to do that kind of thing.
Oh.
And I didn't see him there. Was that gambling guy there? There was a large group of people at the show, and it was like maybe 7, 8, maybe 9 people at one table. They had an exhibitor booth. They were right across from me. They would have been at booth 264. Which I don't know. I don't see it. I see 264 on the exhibitors list as K&B Confessions. I don't think that's who they were, but I can't find any name for K&B Confessions. But yeah, they were playing a game called Razzle, which apparently is unwinnable. But yeah, Mark says, I wish I would have known. I would have shot pictures and sent them to the Michigan Gaming Commission as I have been asked to do so.
There you go.
Yeah. I really
know. Every time you see anybody doing anything with Razzle at a Michigan show, take pictures and report them immediately. That's the first thing to do.
Yeah, they say
because they're already on it. They already know what's going on. They need to go get them.
Now I understand that the game can be called. What the heck? Oh, okay. The game can go under a couple of different names. Hold on here. I'll read it to you guys, because again, we want to make sure this doesn't happen to, if you're sitting next to somebody at a show, you're vending,
or if you're at a show and you see it happening,
you
need to pull it to the promoter's attention.
Yeah.
We have guys around here all the time setting up in storefronts doing little inside games of chance with video slots.
It's known as football, baseball, 10 points win, Indian poker, bingo, all kinds of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. It's
They just don't know it as Razzle. They think it is something else because they usually call them these other things instead of Razzle.
Let's see. Yeah. So you just read it, so I don't have to look it up anymore. But yeah, and Dennis Barger did witness it. He witnessed it too, so that was good. But yeah, we got to start calling these guys out when we see it because, again,
That's bad for the whole business. That's bad for the whole industry. Yep.
Yeah, and I should have mentioned it to Mark, like, hey, these guys are very, because I wanted to go play the game. Honestly, I thought I had a fair chance of winning. But they didn't even offer me. They didn't offer it to me, But I wasn't the Mark because I gotta sit next to you for 3 days, So exhibitors are probably safe, but if I was walking through, as a fan, it was,
take a slip. Oh, hey, you won. Come over here and play a game.
Yeah. I mean, they had some nice prizes out there. I may actually have a shot of them in a video I sent. Who did I send a video to?
That's the way all these scammers work. Here's the awesome prize that you can win right out front. If you play them at carnivals, they'll even let 1 or 2 people win just so that they're carting the prize around so that you got a chance.
Yeah.
But the odds of winning those games are next to impossible.
Right.
If not totally impossible. Well, next to impossible probably at the carnivals because they keep a strict eye on that kind of thing.
Are you
and these people know the rules.
Will you be on high alert now, Randy, for your show and making sure that
Yeah, but again, I've got a friendly show. Everybody that comes through I pretty much know. So and if I don't, then and they're a problem, then they need to go.
I'll show you guys this. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
I've never had a problem like that at one of my shows, but I keep telling Monica there's a first time for everything.
Yeah. Let me see here. Where is my 1 second, guys. Okay. Is this it? All right. I'm gonna share my screen. Can you guys see that?
It's an empty hall.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna actually scan past the corner of the table.
Star photo ops. Yeah,
you'll be able to see it. Give me 1 second. All right. So I'm scanning past. I'm just showing.
Is this while the show is on?
Yeah, the show is open, and that's their table right there. You see one of the big yellow minions hanging. They've got some backpacks. There's a TV I was telling you about. A lot of high-end stuff, a Yeti microphone, PS4s, a bunch of stuff. But yeah, they're and there's some people there. They're playing. People there. They're already,
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's rough. I feel bad for the. And had I known.
That was in the middle of the show, you said?
Yeah, the show had been open for about an hour at that point.
On what day?
Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah, that was Saturday.
That was pretty empty.
Yeah, we were. I told you it was rough. It was, it was rough. Mark says it helps when these guys get called out, including bootleggers. Bootleggers at shows are very bad. I've had, I didn't know when I was younger, and I would run to those guys because they had the movies that I couldn't get anymore. So they had the Fantastic Four, Roger Corman version. They had the, Witchblade TV series set, which I couldn't get anywhere else. So I was happy to go there and get them. I didn't realize that, until like maybe a week after popping one of the DVDs in and seeing the logo, the TNT logo in the lower right-hand corner. Like, wait a minute, this is a recording.
It's filmed it off of their TV.
Yeah.
Made copies. Yeah.
Mark says, I have a guy in Illinois who tried to get into our show, did a little homework on his operation, and discovered he is not licensed and is wanted in Illinois.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
Yikes. Yes. Randy, how much of being, and Mark, maybe you can chime in on this too, how much of being a Comic-Con promoter is almost like being a detective. Like, do you have to? Is it a gut feeling you have about somebody who sends an application?
Well, again, I've never had to run into that problem. I mean, I haven't had to go out and look for new vendors until the last couple shows because I keep scheduling dates up against major shows.
Mm-hmm.
So this in April, we had a couple of new guys come in that were really good. One guy that will conveniently never be back.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way it works, and it's not because he did something illegal. It's because he just doesn't fit into the show.
Mm-hmm.
And he left a pigsty of a mess, but that's okay. But I'm sure Mark's had to do a lot more of that. For Saginaw, I was nervous about a few guys, but luckily Paul King up there and I went to lunch real early on, and Paul was just amazing as far as getting people together. He's getting people together up there in Saginaw for the September show, all excited and revved up. He's an awesome promoter. He's a great guy.
Mm.
So most of the other people that came in, especially the toy people, were all friends of Paul's. Paul said, this guy is going to set up and do this, and he'll do it. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. We're going to have a couple of those guys in September selling toys and Funko Pops. And, Paul's got a huge display that you saw. He ended up taking a whole wall.
Mm-hmm.
He had a lot of stuff to clean out of his storage facility at the time. So he's taking 4 tables at the September show. We're going to put him along the back wall.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll have his little wheel, but he plays a game. He gives a bunch of stuff away. It's a wheel to get a goofy little prize. So that's not gambling. It's just spin the wheel. Here's your prize. Pick one out of whatever number bin that the number on the wheel come up on. So he's like I said, he's a great guy. I haven't had to run into the problem. I try not to be a big show so that I don't have to run into those kind of problems.
I feel bad though this happened to people. It's happening to more.
Well, I do too, because those kind of scams, like I said, don't do good for anybody.
Yeah. Had I known that's what was going on, I would have spoken up a lot sooner. But I failed. I will.
Well, we'll all know better next time, and when we see the guys, we'll let everybody know.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because I gave them 2 flyers to the Monroe Comic Con. I told them about the Flint show. So I feel like, well, what have I done? But let's see here. I
don't know. I just got a guy with that today selling candles.
Mm-hmm.
That, was pop culture type stuff. If he doesn't bring candles, and if I see him loading up a 50-inch screen, I'll know better and ask him to go.
Mark says doing so on Variant's friend from the last con, arrested several times for theft and possession of cocaine. Yes, he has been. And
he's just not a good person, though.
No.
Yeah.
He's the less we have to deal with him, the better it'll be. I'm interested to see what happens at one of the other shows here because last year I was asked, hey, if we don't have him here, would it be okay if his mother and her friend come assist and sell his stuff? As long as he is not there, he won't be allowed on the premises, load in, load out at all. And I was asked if that was okay, and I said, sure. Now they're getting involved. Now they're starting the same type of BS. And my interest is, and I've let the other show know, hey, this is what happened. And I know Mark has been putting the word out. I'm interested to see if they'll even be allowed in that show, because
that's crazy too, because there should be a waiting list. For the big show. It's been around for years.
Yeah. Well, people always try to manage to get in there. Last minute, I was told they use a different name too. I was told that they use a different name to get in the show, and it's gonna get to the point where I think signing up for a show is gonna get it's gonna be like trying to get on the plane. Need a copy of your ID. I need a copy of who's gonna come to the show. I have to have a picture ID of that person. There's
With my show, it's all first come, first serve to the people that were there before. So by the time I get done calling everybody that was there at the last show, I got very few tables left. So, except for, like I said, the last couple shows, because I keep scheduling it up against other major shows. So,
and
won't happen next year.
Mark says, I am in the process of banning the guy and his business from a legal perspective. And yeah, I mean, you probably got to do it from, you got to look at what's legal. And you might be able to you might be in trouble by just telling the guy he can't come. You might face some type of, legal repercussions. But I don't know. I'm not.
And again, it's your show. You got control. You got control over who you put in and don't put in at the show.
Lewis,
you can tell them no on a whim if you want. I don't like the way you look. You're out of here.
You ever thought about going to show promotion, Lewis, at all?
I've talked about it with one of the guys from down here. He was here last week, Sean Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
We just haven't really got down to brass tacks and hammered out anything. Mm-hmm. We've talked about it in the past.
I thought about it many years ago, and
somebody talked you out of it.
Yeah. I was talking.
Somebody said the magic words. Do your research.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Yeah, take a good look at how things actually work, and then decide if you're going to do it.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be a lot of fun, but then I see people.
It's a lot of work, is what it is.
Yeah. So I don't do. That's why I don't do 2-day shows.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to have fun.
Yeah,
let's do a little 1-day show. Bring people in, collect some money at the door. It's all good. No advance tickets. No,
Mm-hmm.
No big stars to fly in, or minimums to hit, or huge convention halls to pay for. I'm sure Mark will tell you there's a lot that goes into those shows. Just a crazy lot.
Yeah, I wonder if I would think that running a show like that, or a big show, my God, it must. I mean, for every day must feel like a year.
Mm-hmm. Like, No, that the closer you get to the show, the shorter the days get. That's the way it always works. Yeah, pretty soon it's like flip.
I remember I asked Michael Goldman. I asked him. I said, "How long do you take off after a show?" And he told me, I think he said 2 weeks. After the show, he's like, "I'm not." Yeah, like 2 weeks. I think that's what he told me. It was like, he needs that time to recharge and get your mind right. Because
I've done cons where I've spent the next day, the Monday after the show, once we got home, doing nothing but sitting in a chair watching TV because you don't want to move.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure you've done that too.
I've done. Yeah.
The next day is like you're just done.
Yeah.
You're spent. You've been hustling the last 3 or 4 days, and I can ban any person I want for any reason. Yeah, exactly. Private event. Yeah, I don't do it very often.
But as well
yeah, it is. Absolutely. Thanks, Mark.
He also says he takes 1 day off the Tuesday after the show. Are you still in there cleaning up Monday? Are you still breaking down stuff Monday, Mark?
Or you're decompressing with your staff. That's probably what it is, going over whatever possible problems sprung up the previous 3 days.
Yeah. And I understand that the gentleman that I had an issue with, I understand that this year he came in under a different name as well. But and maybe, and Randy, you can tell me, and Mark as well, what is the situation? Are you able to? Some guy walks in. Some guy walks into your show, and he's got you notice he's not the name, but it's that person. But you taking his money. Do you refund his money to him at that moment, or?
Yeah, I would. I'd say no. You're not here. You're out. I don't want you here. But I'd have to have serious problems with somebody first.
Mm-hmm.
If that most of the time I'm really tight for space anyway.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Let's see here. Let's see. me see here. And I want to bring up one other thing too, because and I don't mean to just keep harping on the con, but
Mark says Monday is unloading trucks
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
putting stuff away, mostly returning rentals and so forth.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, again, I'm a small show, so the tables that I rent, which I just rented tables today, by the way, for the September show, they come and pick them up the following Monday. So the last 4 or 5 shows, I haven't even been there when they picked up the tables. I just make sure they're gone.
I was Mark says this is why I'm banning him and any business he owns. A little different than just banning the business name. We have a well-known Taiwan company that we did this to. So yeah, it's like Mark, you had mentioned that to me. Someone from Taiwan keeps trying to get in the show, and I'm wondering. I mean, is there a plan to fly all the way here? Like, would a scam artist actually go through that much to get into the show? I'm gonna fly to America and get in there and make some money. That's yikes.
Yeah.
And I have a question for you guys too, because again, these are all questions we talked about at the con. Me and other artists. Okay, and tell me where you both. I know Lewis.
Mhm.
Lewis, I want you to woo-side a couple times before answering this. Okay. All right. You run a show. Does a artist who is an artist alley, he gets an artist alley table, but you discover that he has not drawn any of the art he has. What he does is he hires people from the Philippines and other countries to draw all this art that he has over, thousands of pieces.
Right.
We got a big, huge print wall. He is not the artist. He is just the person who paid for this art to be done and colored and printed, and he's selling it.
But his name's on it as the artist.
No, his name is not on as the artist. Does he belong in Artist Alley, or should he be forced to get an exhibitor table?
Well, it depends on how he's representing himself. If he's representing himself as the artist, he should be just kicked out, period.
Mm-hmm.
If he's representing himself as a studio or as something like that, then it depends how the pieces are signed or whatever.
If he paid for the first off, you want to make sure the artwork's all original and that he did pay for it. If there's nothing there that you recognize, I would even bring by a couple of fans, an anime fan and a modern comic fan, to take a look at the artwork, make sure it wasn't swiped.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's there selling prints of stuff, even though that he's got the full rights to the artwork for, he's still vending.
Right.
Needs a vendor table.
So at your shows, and
unless he's doing books. Now, if he's selling comics, if he's got his own little company and he's been paying people to go, that's a publisher's booth, or I would probably let them slide in an Artist Alley situation, depending upon their title, and the books that they have.
Because this particular guy, he sets up a lot of shows, big, huge print wall, but none of it is his art. Again, he pays other artists out the country to do this art, color this art. Then he makes the prints and he takes them. And this is my studio. We are an art studio. And this is what we do.
First off, he doesn't have a license. Again, we're doing the fan art versus legitimate art again.
That would be a vending call and probably up to the promoter, up to the show promoter.
Mark says exhibitor table if he has permission to sell that art for the artist, otherwise out the door.
Yeah.
Yep. Agree.
Interesting, guys. I would
because there's so many guys out there who do and they claim they are the artist on top of it, and they're not the artist. They're doing exactly what you're talking about. And the first thing you do is you say, okay, if that's your art, here's paper, here's pencil, show me. Because
usually on stuff like that, though, they're swiping from somebody else already.
Right.
So you can, if you don't catch it, then like I said, bring somebody by who knows anime. Bring somebody by who knows comic art and the different artists, and say, look at this guy's stuff. Is it all original? That'd be the first thing, because 9 times out of 10, the guy's swiping.
Yeah. And although I will put this, I'll tell you this,
and they found those guys in the past. I've seen the Bleeding Tool articles on the different people that they've caught doing crap like that.
And Mark says, unfortunately, that is a new bootlegger thing. Still art, put a filter on it, and represent the art as your own work. Several guys running around doing that. Yeah,
there is.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
That's why I say if you can't do, if you're an artist alley, you should be able to demonstrate your ability to draw.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line. If you can't draw something, and it doesn't have to be exactly what you have on a wall or on display, because okay, it took you 10 hours to do that piece that you got on your wall. I don't expect you to do the same level, but you got to show something that shows me comparable ability.
And I mean, you know, now if he walks up to you, you're the show manager, Lewis, and he says, well, no, I'm the studio. I represent these guys. They can't be here because they're out the country. So I go around the country touring with their art, and I've been accepted for this artist alley table.
Well, they wouldn't have been if I was.
Apologize, you've been mislabeled. You need a vendor table.
Yeah. Because first off, they wouldn't be accepted in that capacity if I was running a show. They would have to show me their business license as a studio. They'd have to show me their contracts with whoever they're representing.
Okay.
That they are representing artists who are out of country.
Oh, they're not gonna have those probably in a suitcase that they carry with them, though.
Well, no, that's before they come, before they get accepted to get the table to begin with.
That's a good point. Yep.
So they wouldn't even be there in that situation. And because if they were representative, first thing I'd say is, well, why aren't the artists here? I would have invited them. I would have brought them over potentially. So I don't know if that situation really would happen in that scenario, unless my people or I miss something, which is possible. We're human. But
I sent you guys the studio. It does that.
Yeah, we saw the.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I sent you guys that. So, and again, guys, if you see that, bring it to a promoter's attention. Mark, is there? I know some companies are starting to do it. Is there a way to contact you directly, or at your show, or is any staff member able to take care of the situation or reach you immediately to let you know, hey, we got a bootlegger down here on the floor? Mark says, I had a Rooster Teeth rep show up at our show last year, busted a vendor who was selling illegal art, turned their contract info over to Rooster Teeth. I think RTB is taking legal action. You guys looking at the art? Okay. I have to see everyone. They're doing their CSI faces.
Yeah, this guy is first off, this guy is still running derivative stuff off of copywritten material.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the site for our team. And if they told you that either the artists that are part of their little group are out of country or aren't from here, both the artists that they have listed are from the United States. They're on DeviantArt.
Okay.
So yeah, they're just pulling a bullshit.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's at every show, and
I've never seen him before. So I've gone every show I'm at. They're there, and
are they in the artist alley or in a vendor space?
Artist alley.
Wow.
Every year. I will, to Mark's credit, I don't think I've ever seen him at Grand Rapids, though. I don't think so, but I've seen him at every other. Well, and Randy, I never seen him at your show either. But
I have a small show.
Yeah,
and I know some of the artists were upset that artists like sitting next to them, and artists also like the fact that his prints are unbelievably cheap.
He's just looking to turn a buck.
Yeah. But watch out for him too, guys.
That's what he's doing.
But if you see something like that, please speak up to a promoter.
They're out of Minneapolis, Illinois, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the artists is.
There are several people on our floor. They can be contacted for bootleggers. We have a strict policy on it. Always turn them over to the copyright owners. And yeah, that's the important thing. Because it could be your art one day. It could be your product, your product.
Oh, it will be your art one day.
Yeah.
If you don't, or if you let that kind of stuff slide.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time.
I want to remind everybody watching, because I guess we're getting ready to hang it up. We've been on quite a while. To please consider liking, subscribing to the channel. And while you're doing all that fun stuff, remember that you can, there we go. You can listen to us on Indie Vote Radio, which is a app that you can get on the Google Play Store. Also on iOS, if you download the Streamer app and search for Indie Vote Radio. We stream 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, indie music, news, and some other exclusive stuff that we don't talk about on YouTube. So you can definitely check that out. It is free. There's no cost for the app whatsoever. So it's just I just keep giving and giving to you people. What more do you want from me? Gosh. And while you're doing that, if you're like me and you can only take so much of the radio, which I get.
Wow.
What's that? Oh, is Lewis still discovering?
Yeah, that's not cheap prints they're selling either. They're selling them at $40 a print.
Yeah. One second, hold on. I got to pay bills. Indie Vote TV is on your Roku. You can download it. It is free as well. We stream independent movies as well as some convention interviews. And we actually have some documentaries that I can't talk about yet. I can't announce yet that are coming to the network very, very soon. So you definitely want to check that out on the Roku. It is free. Indie Vote TV is what you want to search for. And if you do decide to download this weekend, let us know. It will help. Maybe win you this Aeonian book, which we're going to give away next week on the show. Jason Moore, thanks for subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate that. So Lewis, what did you find? Because you
Or you go to Moose Tap Studios for what they're selling on in their print gallery. It's $40 a print, $50 a print.
I know Lewis gives no F's. He just said the name.
Hey, I'm sorry. Call people out.
We don't need to give them any business. Don't look at them.
Turn the sword dealer over to Disney for bootlegging some of their stuff, put them out of business. I didn't know that, but those swords, they have certain cuts to them that have
everything is copywritten when Disney's involved, and you don't screw with the mouse.
Yeah. Lewis is gonna be searching the site all night to see if his art is up there.
No, I'm not. I'm done. I know my art's not up there anyway.
Anyway, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We already appreciate it.
You forgot about something.
Yes, we do. Thank you. And again, all of you Indie Volt radio listeners, if you're not in the United States and you're reading something, if you're reading some comics that are cool, drop us a line. Let us know what you're reading. Let us know what you're into, because I love reading comics. The more unusual, the better. So I want to know what you're reading. I want to take a look at it. I really do.
Yeah, I read an unusual comic once. Turns out it was a Tijuana Bible.
There you go. Those are in all their forms. I got a couple of chick publications sitting here that are handy. Propaganda, buddy, in all their forms, as long as it's done well.
Lewis, and is there anything that where can our listeners find you at
Walking Dead?
You're not on here besides Quote the Raven, which coming soon, September.
On your Facebook at Lewis Bright Raven, and you can find me at Store Envy and on Patreon.
And you can also message Lewis if you want to blow somebody's spot up about bootlegging or stealing art. He'll love to talk to you about it, and he'll put the person's name out there because Lewis, Lewis has he has huge balls, whereas I don't have those huge balls. I've been neutered.
Neutered.
Randy, where can they find you?
Zim Geek YouTube channel. I try to put up content as often as I can. I've got a nice new video on the way. Just put up a video on how to draw hot stuff. For my stuff, I just had the first 3 issues of the Preservers comic that I did, and I'm working on a video on that right now too, explaining the Nature Trail and the Preservers book that I do. That just went back for all 3 of those issues just went back for a reprint, because apparently they're all out of we've double printed the first issue. Apparently they're all out of that, and we printed a good run on the second and third, and those are, if they're not gone, they're just about gone. They had to go back on a reprint on all of those. So inside the cover on all of them, I put second printing. So all those first prints, maybe, you never know, might be valuable someday.
That's cool.
They're little freebie giveaways that are available at the Welcome Center at Formar Nature Preserve. So if you ever want to see that stuff, I have an episode of Treehouse Masters on Animal Planet. Nature's Superheroes, the title of it. That they come out to the preserve and put a treehouse up, and there's little heads of the preservers, of all the preservers in the inside of the treehouse that they had done. It's pretty awesome.
That's today. My wife called me. Randy's on TV. Randy's on TV.
Oh, Randy's on TV like that. I was 10 seconds there and gone.
Oh, you know, I know a lot. The first thing I asked is, what did he do?
Yeah, what did he do wrong?
What did he do now?
What precinct is he in?
Yeah.
It's time to raise some bail money. Start that Indiegogo. Start that GoFundMe campaign. It's a Rescue Randy campaign.
I've been working on my book. I got some commissions to finish up this week, and then I got the hot back on my book, The Begotten, coming very, very soon, I promise. You can find me at Varian Grant or kid_V at Twitter. Varian Grant on Facebook. And
you can find me in just about every large retailer's indie comics dollar box.
Yeah.
There we go. Just start looking through them. There's some great stuff there. If I didn't draw it or write it, I probably lettered it, or who knows.
Yeah.
If it was from Michigan, it's Caliber, Arrow, Weeby, whatever you find.
I made a joke, by the way. Caliber has a new book out. They're launching a new book. I got the flyer, and the name of the book is Last Call.
Oh, I was going to say, it's not Doc Justice and the J Team, is it?
No, it's called Last Call. I said I need to put out a book called Caliber.
Just call up Eric.
Yeah.
Let him know. Hey, buddy, you might need to find another name for that.
That's okay. So anyway, thanks, guys.
You're doing a book called Caliber next month. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening. Louis is doing a special variant cover. It's gonna be awesome.
Sweet.
It's all done. The deal's done. He's doing it for free, mind you.
Awesome.
All
Now
right.
we know.
Big
news.
Some more exposure, huh?
Yeah. That exposure bugs. People die from exposure.
That's right. People die from exposure.
That works. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We will see you Tuesday during the Breakfast Buzz. Thursday at 9 a.m. during the Breakfast Buzz. This is Varian Grant, Louis Bright Raven, and Randy Zimmerman reminding you to treat every day as it's your last, because one day you're gonna be right.
Take care. Thanks for listening.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.
It would be a lot simpler if I had the outro ready.
You don't have